Hey everybody, just some guy here. Today's a very special day because I'll be discussing the biggest problem facing the entire human race, so I'm wearing my favorite color. As always, I'm not an expert in the following topics. I'm just some guy. I do, however, have some experience. Here's the problem with having a socially acceptable addiction. First, getting what you want is easy, legal, and even encouraged. Second, what should be used in moderation becomes a collective lifestyle, for better or worse. And last, the very idea of introducing a new way to live is rejected by the masses, who fear change and the uncertainty it brings. But what happens when that change is necessary? When the system gets a shock that it can't recover from? Like the realization that this lifestyle is inevitably self-destructive. One of two things happen: evolve or die. Coal, oil, and plastics are a big part of this addiction. It all came so easily. A resource that seemed to be in massive abundance, had the properties to produce exothermic energy, and seemed to have a multitude of other applications when refined. Well, who could say no in that situation? In the late 1700s, the Industrial Revolution took place, and suddenly supplies and equipment were made en masse. As time went on, the effect snowballed, and more industry led to easier development of new industry. Everyone seemed to be benefiting from these abundant resources, completely ignoring the detrimental effects. It turned from being a necessity of expansion to a necessity of lifestyle. What's the difference? Back before we had the countless amenities we have now, expansion was the very key to survival. If you had a farm, you could cultivate enough food for your survival, or you could expand in order to also cover the needs of a growing family. You could expand more to trade your excess. And that's why expansion was necessary: grow or die. That changed, however, when the lifestyle of the population shifted from work for your food to pay for your food. When everything became quick and easy, suddenly it became the norm. Everything had to be done faster and cheaper. That's the way the people were demanding it. This was the basis of the industrial boom. Factories were being built and always running, especially during wartime. Jobs and resources abound. You ever get that "you don't know how good you have it" speech from your parents? You ever feel like giving that same speech to your kids? If you ever had that lecture, you probably felt, and I hate using this word, attacked for being brought into a world and a lifestyle you didn't choose and have no basis of comparison for. Well, that's what also happened back then. Everything changed so quickly, and new norms were changing all the time. So fast, in fact, that society never had the chance to step back and say, when is enough enough? You know who else doesn't ask that? An addict. Practically fresh to the needle, people accepted this change in lifestyle because it seemed like a glorious new age of convenience over survival, luxury over hardship, pleasure over pain. And who would ever want that to end? There seemed to be no downsides at the time. Everything was chugging along better than ever. I mean, sure, there was the occasional human cost with accidents or unknown factors, but it was a drop in the bucket compared to the glorious new civilization being built. That is the rationalization of an addict. Of course, there was also the indiscriminate dumping of toxins and pollutants, garbage, but they never had to deal with that problem building up on them. They seemed to have all the room they could ever ask for. This is the destructive tendencies of an addict. When an addict wants to reassure themselves of their lifestyle, they make others around them join in that lifestyle. In this case, that lifestyle was, we're American, so we earned it. Our way is the best way, no exceptions. And everyone should be like us. And then, so many people are swept up in their addiction, they begin to call whatever they do an act of patriotism. And if you aren't with them, then you're against them and everybody else. You're the enemy. America, land of the excess, love it or leave it. Now, what happens, I wonder, when that substance is taken away? If people don't have gas for their cars, or electricity for their homes, or internet for everything else. We were brought into this society at a time we didn't choose. And we weren't raised with the same survival skills our ancestors were 300 years ago. If we lost our amenities today, we would be completely alienated in a hostile environment. Put yourself in that situation in your mind. Really try to feel the helplessness, the fear, the despair, the panic. There wouldn't be a farm in your backyard to go to for food. You wouldn't have mobility without fuel. No heat, no AC without electricity, no instant communication with the outside world. So now you're left not knowing where to go, what to do, or how to survive. That's the power the dealers have over us. That's the panic of the addict's mind when faced with no supply. So what do we do when we know that that day is coming? We could bury that knowledge and blissfully waste our lives away, gratified that we'll be dead long before we have to suffer the consequences. After all, we have our supply so we can go comfortably. Everyone else is on their own, it's their problem. And that is the addict's resignation from society. But here's another option. How about we start weaning ourselves off of the hard stuff? Try some supervised methadone to get us back to a healthier place. Now, I'm a millennial. I have been told ever since I can remember that the lifestyle of burning fossil fuels is killing us. Climate change, air quality, food quality, plastics everywhere. Everyone knows it, and yet nothing is getting done to cut the cord because we can't seem to get off that sweet, fast and easy. So let's kick the tar. It's bad for everyone in every way. Instead, let's go out for some sunshine and try that instead. Feel the wind as we walk. Hear the water rushing by. And suddenly, something will start to change. Now, the endorphin hit we got from oil is still fresh in our memory. But bit by bit, sun, wind, and water make up for that emptiness we feel. The warmth of the sun rays, the blasting of the gusts, the unstoppable motion of the water. All of them have their own power, brought in clean and abundant forms. Will we always remember the quick and easy path to satisfaction? Of course. But here's where we start to realize that the instant gratification from a dirty source was actually killing us slowly all along. This is death by attrition, tricking our brains into being happy while our bodies rot, just like our dealers want. So it's time to get ourselves out of the collective basements we've been living in. Let in the sun, the wind, and the water. Let them nourish our society instead of poison. We need to accept our united shakes of withdrawal, embrace them, and move past them. Evolve or die. Now, I'm making this plea to anyone who will listen. Canada is in a period of transition, turning inward for our needs rather than importing or exporting them. Our energy sector is under pressure to expand, and the consensus in Alberta's government is to open new coal mines, build new pipelines, and keep the addict's lifestyle well supplied. Now hear me on this. If someone tells you that you are not supporting the Canadian or the Albertan energy sector, that is bullshit. We are supporting the energy market by diversifying it. What we're not supporting is dirty Canadian energy. That's their addict brain talking. They don't understand any other way of living. It just hasn't occurred to them that there is a healthier and more sustainable path. I am not the first person to think of this. So why haven't we done it already? Our dealers don't want us to. They figure that everything is so effed up by now anyway, they might as well get theirs before they die. And we're all just absorbing all the poison we can get our hands on. Like I said, Canada is in a period of transition right now, so this is the perfect time to start moving in a new direction. The system is already being shaken up, so let's point it the right way. Right now is our best opportunity. This is when we evolve or die. I'm asking everyone who sees this video and agrees with me to please share it with others and comment as much as you can. Let's tell our governments to stop investing our money into a system that kills everything and develop harvesting the abundant resources already at our fingertips. Solar, wind, hydro, and eventually, hopefully, geothermal. Cut the addiction now and try to save what's left. We are never too far gone to stop. If you're still not convinced, let's look at this in business terms. We're diversifying our energy portfolio while simultaneously easing the pressure on the healthcare system by eliminating the poison causing the chronic illnesses that financially drain the taxpayers. It's a win-win. And the only people left objecting should be the ones who prioritize monetization over everyone's survival. So I say no more dirty energy development. Focus on getting clean and going green. And this time, it's elbows up in unity, human race.